see Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the LA Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's second leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age, out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Hey, look at this Baltimore defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And while teams don't like to talk about it, they're pretty proud of their rankings. But this ranking is going to be put to the test today because they're going up against a top 5 passing offense in this one.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Back to throw here, Herbert. Throw out wide is incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss. Okay, and he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Here's 2nd and 3. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And some room to roam now. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down. The Ravens at 9-2 to start play. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
On second down, it's Edwards. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. That's going to bring up a third down. When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And he used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flowers. Touchdown! Zay Flowers hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third down, here's Eckler. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Once more, here's Eckler. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 26. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre- and post-snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
On first down, it's Herbert. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on the good side of this game right now with a lead, but they were on the bad side last week in that loss to Cincinnati, so now trying to make amends. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Jackson. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Play action. It's Jackson rolling to his right. And he'll be out at the 35. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked in and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to have a Ravens first down. Well, they take a chance there on 4th and 1, but it's a gain of 3 and a new set of downs.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Only needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it. That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
Give all that credit defensively to Khalil Mack. A great stop in the backfield.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. To throw is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And that's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Jackson from the shotgun. He completes it to Beckham. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On third down, Jackson forced out to his left. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Oh, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Edwards will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
He's by himself, Keenan Allen.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Third and 19. Now it's Herbert. That's into the hands of Eckler. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now a 2nd and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Jackson. Flush to his right. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Again, it's Edwards. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing is Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson can really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Big Sebastian Joseph Day there on the stop.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary.
So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. Here's Jackson. That is caught. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Jackson. Buying time to his left. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's tackled a yard. Short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. Creeping up on 1,000, could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
Yeah, a little bit of a cat and mouse game.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. That's caught right side by Palmer. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Herbert now. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
On the counter now, it's Dobbins.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
Jackson now rolling to his left. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Now it's Jackson.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
It's a big play there for Baltimore. 47 yards.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch of the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so far in this one, but he made his presence felt there. A big pickup on 3rd down.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw.
He'll find Bateman once more.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Trenton Simpson brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. No gain on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. On the screen, this is Eckler. And running with power here. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back.
But I think the ball's out, and picked up by the Chargers.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for L.A.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 2.
Here's Herbert. Out left, he's got it to Everett. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Now a 2nd and 6. From the gun, a run by Spiller. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll run here with Spiller. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot. And
what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They snap it to Herbert. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered this one.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively. 2nd and 7. Another run here with Dobbins.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson being chased out left. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. We're looking deep here for Flowers. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Flushed out right. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. A couple of 1st downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Flowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Let's get him. Come on.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was... So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. This is caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Charger drive about to get going. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.
Well, this was a really